Well, hello everyone. It's Angela with Mystic Moon, bringing you guys a Lost Love Confessions reading. So this is going to be about a connection that you feel with another person from your past. You could have had a falling out with this individual. Maybe you guys are in a separation, no contact situation now, but this is definitely going to be somebody who regrets losing you. So we're going to go ahead and gain their perspective just to kind of see what they're feeling now. We are going to do some of this reading here on this channel, and then we're going to go deeper into the messages over on the extended. So I will put that link in the description box down below, as well as all the decks I'm using here today and today's Orgonite, which is called the Divine Love Pyramid, created by Michelle from Bell's Wing and Bell. And I think I said just take what resonates and get rid of anything that doesn't. So let's jump into the messages. So the first thing that we're going to look at is who was this person in the past in your connection. So we're going to go into my Treasure Trove Oracle here and just see who was this person in the past. Like, what energy were they holding on to? How were they operating? You know, what was their point of view at that time when it came to you in this connection? Let's look at this. We have the Server. Interesting. Okay, so the Server is about doing things for other people, but it's about forgetting your own needs. Being a little selfish. So it kind of seems like maybe this person in their past was taken advantage of, or they were always like doing so much for people or situations, connections, relationships. When they came together with you, maybe they were tapped out. Maybe they just didn't have any more to give. I do feel like there was a part of them that wanted to give something to you, but maybe they were just like tapped out is what I'm picking up on. So they could have been exhausted or depleted from a past situation or relationship, already kind of coming in half-ass, unfortunately. That's interesting. What else? We have the Scholar. They could have been in school. They could have been tapped out energetically. It's almost like they may have had all this other stuff going on, and so they did not actually have time for this connection. Yeah. So maybe they even felt like they couldn't really offer you much because they were still in this like transitional period of building themselves up, building a career, getting an education, getting certified to do something, or just like building their life is what I'm picking up on that one. Okay, interesting. What else? I'm getting here, they still had a lot to learn. Okay, so we also now have the Baker, and the Baker is talking about a sweet surprise. So I just feel when your individual and you came together, they actually were not looking for a relationship or a connection. So it was a sweet surprise. And I feel like they didn't say no to this, even though they knew that they would not really be able to serve your connection fully. They were more in the energy of serving themselves, which isn't necessarily selfish, but I just feel like they could not open themselves up completely to give any more than they could at the time to your connection. But they certainly indulged in the goodies that you were, providing, basically. Like they took a break to kind of nibble a little bit of you and kind of snack on you a little bit. I know that sounds funny, but that's just how it's coming through to me. They really weren't planning on getting totally involved here, but there was something about you that was very sweet, very maybe sexy and enticing. And so they just thought, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and take a break from this and indulge myself. But at the end of the day, they knew that they weren't going to be able to fully show up for you because they had something else that they were working on or trying to just build in their lives. Yeah. Interesting. All right, let's see what else. Oh, we have the Artist. This person could have been creative. They could have been an artist. Maybe they felt like they needed to really serve their purpose and their mission, which could have involved school or learning some kind of skills, artistry skills, being creative, etc. Somebody could actually even be a chef, okay? Because being a chef is like an, artistic expression through food. But I just feel like this individual needed a lot of time to dedicate to a particular craft or to a particular goal. And unfortunately, getting involved with you really wasn't going to, they weren't really going to be able to serve you because they wouldn't be able to 100% show up for this connection. But I also feel like maybe something in their past depleted them. And so they just felt like, you know what, I'm just not looking to do that again. It's going to take too much of my time. I'm drained because of a past relationship that I was in. So I have to say no to relationships right now. So that's interesting. Let's just see what else is going on here. We're going to go into my Winter Wonderland Oracle, which is my newest deck, and it is now available for purchase. All right, so let's see who else this person was in the past when it came to your connection. I feel like you were serving up something sweet and they couldn't resist it. I just picked that up. They couldn't resist it. Some of you could have met this person while taking a class or a course or something. Just take that if it resonates. I just feel like they were still building themselves up in some way. They weren't quite ready for this when it came in. But they couldn't say no to it either, so they did take a bite. Oh my God, here it is. I can't believe I just said this. And here is this card confirming it. They could not resist what you were dishing up. It was too sweet. So it does say nymph, and you know how we get that nymphomaniac type of thing. So very sensual type of energy, physical chemistry, that sort of thing. So it could be that this person, you know, got involved with you in a physical way, but when it came to maybe dating you or being in a deep, you know, committed relationship with you, they just knew that that wasn't something they were going to be able to do. I'm not getting necessarily that they wouldn't want to. I just feel like they felt at the time that they just couldn't. Their life just didn't match up with that goal. They were very focused on their own goals. They were not ready to connect or combine their goals with someone else's. Okay. But this was too good to pass up on. And maybe they should have, because maybe you really got hurt because you wanted more from this person that they could, or than they could give, you know? We have refreshing perspective. Okay, so you were also a breath of fresh air, and maybe it was a little bit of a welcome break to all this hard work that they were doing. It was a nice distraction for them, is what I'm getting with that cider energy. We have someone returns. Okay, kind of got something about the past here. Somebody from the past could have returned, or it could even be that an old feeling of, you know what, I'm just not wanting that right now, came back. It's like they got involved, they got caught up in this moment, they were definitely snacking on what you were dishing out, but after they were full, it's kind of like that feeling returned of, you know what, I just don't have time for this, or I just can't get involved. You know, some feeling may have returned as well, but it could have been a person too. Ooh, and it changed their attitude towards this connection. So their attitude was adjusted, and I feel unfortunately they became somewhat negative, or they closed themselves off to this with this bah humbug energy. Okay, it's like they could have been feeling it with you for a little bit, but then they suddenly weren't feeling it. They had a bad attitude, and you know, just something like a switch flipped, and they were suddenly different towards you. So this could have actually felt very out of left field. You may have not seen this coming. You may have not understood it when it happened. Okay. So this is my Divine Masculine Tarot and Ascension journey. Let's see what else. Wow, you guys, look at that. 5 of Pentacles shutting you out. So this person ended up shutting you out is what they did. They closed the door on this connection. They went kind of dark. It could be that, you know, some of you might have gotten blocked by this person. They may have ghosted you. They may have just kind of like, you know, just said, hey, I'll call you later, and like never called you again. But definitely this person seemed to close the door on this connection. Okay. But something changed their attitude. Something shifted really quick. Okay, this is one that just popped out here. Oh, okay. Okay. Queen of Cups is Cancer's energy. I lose myself when I'm with you. So this makes sense to me. Your person felt like they were losing themselves, like they were kind of getting caught up in that sweetness, caught up in all that temptation, being distracted now too much. Like they welcomed the distraction at first, and it was fun. But then something happened and it became too distracting, where they actually started to lose themselves. Maybe even some of them started to develop feelings for you, and it's not what they wanted to do because they still felt like they had this other thing that they needed to either accomplish, or they had this other road or this journey that they needed to embark upon, and it didn't really include a relationship. Okay? I feel like the Cancer's energy means like you were providing some sort of home and shelter, you know, this vibe of really being domesticated. And your person was just trying to kind of build their own security and everything on their own, not with a partner, is what I'm getting here. Yep, look at that. See, you feel like home to me. This person didn't want to have to rely on you with the 10 of Pentacles. They didn't. They didn't want you to feel like home to them. They wanted to make sure that they felt like home to themselves. So I just feel like this person may have just ran away from this connection at the end of the day, because it's not that they couldn't necessarily see things going, you know, the distance, but they weren't ready for it. This was a huge jump, right? It was a huge jump from the 5 to the 10. It's like things happen so quickly. It's like, you know, they imagine that they wouldn't maybe settle down or maybe have kids or get married, if that's a part of the story, until like way later in life. And it might have been that you wanted those things right then and there. And they were just like, I know that this is not what I want to do right now. Yep, and then all of a sudden we got the Tower moment, Tower energy here. Everything came crumbling down. Tower moment means that it's a huge shock. It's a huge, just devastating event. It's like totally someone coming in and just destroying everything. So I do feel like this was a shock and a surprise to you when this person all of a sudden just kind of closed you out, shut you out, ended things with you, told you this wasn't necessarily what they were looking for. Maybe some of them didn't even actually say those words to you, but their actions told you everything that you needed to know. You felt shut out, you felt abandoned, you felt left out in the cold when it came to this person. I feel like some of them didn't really explain a lot of this to you, so they just left you freaking hanging, actually, is what it was happening here. So who your person was, what I'm getting here more than anything is that they weren't necessarily looking for this, but when you came in, they couldn't resist this sweet treat that you were dishing up. And it was refreshing and it was a nice distraction, but it's kind of like when things settled down, or maybe kind of like they got their wits about them again. They were like, oh, I just lose myself when I'm with you. This is just not good for me right now. I needed to cut this off before I lose myself any further. So, you know, I gotta go. That's what I'm getting with that. So how did they see you and feel about you back then? Okay. We already know that they felt like they lost themselves when they were with you and that you felt like home to them. But let's go ahead and get some more details here. This deck right here is from Divine Essentials and it's called the Bonded Souls Oracle. All right. Let's see how your person saw you and felt about you back then. Okay, so we have the intimacy. So there's definitely this intimacy energy here. Yeah, I feel like they physically really connected with you, right? And that's kind of like where they were capping that energy off. Like we can be physical, but I can't go any further than that. Well, guess what? Your person actually was starting to develop feelings for you. And I feel like that's when they cut this off. You see this? The Queen of Cups, very emotional. So you're coming together with her, you're physical with her, but there's a level of intimacy. There's a spiritual love there. And I feel like that's you. That's your vibe, the person watching the video. And so anytime your person was intimate with you in that physical way, there was love involved. There was some kind of other feelings there. And they just wanted to keep it surface. So that's probably why they cut it off with you, if that's your story, because that's what was happening. Okay. All right. This is my Diviner's Oracle. We have flowers. Oh yeah, they had a lot of affection. You were very charming. The flowers is definitely good feelings, good vibes all the way. Definitely admired energy here, where you're very attracted. You're very pleasant to look at. You're very pleasant to be with. Pheromones are definitely connecting. It's a match with the flowers there. This is my Twin Flame Journey Tarot. Let's see what else. But then we got the Tower again. Here it is. Something just kind of came in and just bam, right? But it does say divine intervention, Tower's energy. It's almost like when they came together with you, they felt some sort of instant chemistry, something divine, something that was different than other connections. And I just feel like that was just something that at the end of the day just wasn't what they were, wasn't what they were trying to sign up for, that's for sure. So they may have really just done a good job of pushing this away before it could even get any deeper. Okay, let's see what else. The tranquility, I found peace in your presence. Yeah, there's this message here about this person welcoming this distraction, welcoming this break, partaking from that sweet snack that you were dishing up. They felt peace and tranquility in your presence. So they loved being around you. It felt good to be around you. You were very pleasant. So this is not a situation where they were turned off by you. Quite the opposite, actually. It's like they were liking it a little too much. So it's physically and just like your presentation and who you were, like there was nothing wrong with you. Okay. If you felt like this person just lost interest in you because, they lost attraction to you or they just got bored, it's not the case. Not with this reading. Okay. It's not the situation. That's all great. But what I'm getting here is that this person was under renovation. So I'm looking at that word there. They were under renovation. They were under making over their life and transforming their life. They were trying to fit into the world. And so it was like I said, they were in the middle of this kind of reconstruction. And they found peace when you came in. So it kind of gave them a little bit of it's nice to kind of come down from working so hard. It's kind of nice to take a little bit of a break. But it ended up being a break that was now distracting them and taking them off their path. So in a way, they were kind of looking at your situation as being too much of a distraction. And they would really have to completely change who they were at that time to be with you. And they were very much focused on only making changes for themselves, not for another person. So it wasn't personal. It's just where they were at that time in their lives. Okay, but that doesn't mean that they went about this the best way. They may have, this might be what they regret, is that they didn't go about this the best way at all. All right, let's see what else. We have the Ace of Cups. Yeah, they were about filling their own cup. Okay. Initially, when you guys first got together in the very beginning, yeah, they took this cup, they drank from it. It was attractive. It's what they wanted. They felt good in your presence in the beginning. But again, their own cup, like that's where they were really focused. They were focused on just them, not partnership, not connecting and coming together and blending their life with someone else. So that might have been what you were looking for, but it's not something that they felt like they could give to you at that time. So they just, I feel, pulled away from this connection. We have the heart. Yeah. They felt more than they actually thought was possible. So they got together with you, probably not thinking that they were going to fall for you. And they started to fall for you. It started to affect their heart. And they had to pull away from you because of that. That's what I'm seeing here. Yep. Right here, they cut it off. That's it. They severed ties with you. It's very sudden. It was very sudden. And in a way, it's like even though they enjoyed their time with you, they almost felt liberated cutting you out because they felt like they could breathe again. They felt like they could focus again. They felt like maybe you were that person that was distracting them so much to where they couldn't do what they needed to do. So you might have felt that. You might have felt like, wow, like you felt like this person just cut you out very quickly. They just discarded you so quickly, like almost overnight. But they actually cared more than their actions showed you. Okay? It actually hurt them more than you knew. And then we have the Four of Swords. Yes, so the Four of Swords means I'm pulling back. I'm pulling back my energy. I'm trying to recover my life. I'm trying to, realign myself. I'm trying to have more peace in my life. So originally you did bring them peace, but something got kind of out of hand and chaotic and they lost themselves. And that's not your fault, but that's just where your person was at and how they were handling your situation. So that's what they did. They needed to kind of realign themselves, realign their energy. And they just couldn't do that with you in their life at that time. Last one, we have the secrets. Okay, so we have hiding. This person may have not told you certain things. They may have hid this information. They may have just been kind of going along with it, but not really communicating to you at the time. Like, this is where I'm at. Maybe they had an issue, so they just cut you off. They ghosted you. So that's kind of what I feel is happening here. This is why your person regrets their actions from the past, because they didn't actually take the time to sit down with you and explain this to you, that this is what they were going through, or this is where they were coming from. Instead, they kind of like hid it. Maybe they didn't know how to be truthful and honest with you. Sometimes people don't. They don't. It's like it's so uncomfortable for somebody to say these things because, most of the time, let's admit it. How do you tell someone you're really great, but you're going to, of course, take it personally? You're going to say bullshit. And I feel like this person knew that that's probably how the conversation was going to go, and it was uncomfortable for them, so they could have just literally ghosted you or just dropped you and cut you out. It's not the kindest thing to do, and I'm not saying it's okay that this person did this, but I feel like they just did not have the tools, and it was too hard to do it any other way, so this is what ended up hurting you. That's what I'm getting here. This ended up hurting you. Now, it could also be that this person lied to you in some way as well, and, maybe they didn't want you to find something out, so they cut you out before you could find something out. Yeah, but they definitely are in their heart energy. We have it 2 times here. The heart, okay? So they definitely had a lot of feelings in their heart for you. But the secret could also be that they hid it. They were hiding from their feelings. They were hiding their heart from you. They were hiding what they were feeling. It was too intense. It was too much. And so they turned their back on their heart. And it's like their heart was falling for you. And they turned their back on it. They hid from it. Yep, we have 2 of Pentacles. The 2 of Pentacles is kind of like, left you hanging in the balance. But I couldn't do both. I couldn't do this balancing act anymore. I couldn't do this and I couldn't have you at the same time. I had to pick one or the other, and they picked something else over your connection. So that is how they saw you and felt about you back then. They chose something else over you, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and see what is their biggest regret from that period of time. What is your person's biggest regret from that period of time? Let's look at this energy. Okay. Grab my decks here. All right. So we've got from Aqua Moonlight. We have her Secrets of a Lover's Journey Oracle and the Untold Truths of the Heart Oracle. I love to combine these two decks. All right. Let's take a look and see. What is your person's biggest regret from that period of time? Oops. Oh, that one fell. So I see I can't pick it up, but it says sinner. Meaning like their biggest regret are maybe the sins that they committed, you know, certain acts that just weren't the greatest. Yeah. Okay. There were consequences to those sins. There certainly were. So, yeah, your person's biggest regret is the consequences of their actions. What's interesting is that I just did the Divine Masculine reading at the very beginning of the week, and the song that was channeled from me, or for me, was from Stained, It's Been a While. And there is a lyric in that song that says the consequences that are rendered. And I just feel like there's a connection there. So obviously when we make certain decisions, there's consequences. So if your person just cut you out, didn't really explain anything to you, left you hanging, now there is this weird, unfinished, uncomfortable business between the two of you. That's a consequence. It could be that if they lied to you or you found something out or maybe even stepped out on your connection or hurt you or said some things to you, there are consequences for those actions. So your person's biggest regret is that they may not have handled things the way that they should have. So now there's consequences. There's this uncomfortability now. There's this maybe shame or guilt that they feel. Okay, so this is my Love Never Dies Oracle. Let's see what else. Ooh, damn. Dagger. Losing you is my biggest regret is the name of this reading. And we get this card, Dagger. The heaviest price was losing you. So what I'm going to tell you guys, your person's biggest regret is losing you. It's confirmed in this reading, okay? Feels like a dagger in their heart. It feels like, you know, I just don't know that they realized how much it was actually going to hurt losing you. Okay, this is my Lurking in the Shadows Tarot. Let's see what else. Whoa. Okay. Oh, we have Queen of Ashes. So this is the Queen of Pentacles, you guys, affluent. So you were a real catch, okay? You were a real catch. And so it didn't really have anything to do with you, okay? But I'm also getting another message here. They may have chosen someone else over you, and they chose this person perhaps for, you know, what their family wanted for them, what they thought, you know, success or just something looked like. They could have also chosen money, materialism, because the Queen of Coins, Queen of Pentacles, is connected to the sign of Capricorn, and Capricorn is all about material things. So they may have chosen fame, fortune, you know, climbing some sort of ladders, you know, something like that. That could have been what they chose over your connection. So they chose a certain lifestyle. They may have chose a certain person, or they, unfortunately, the consequence was losing a very valuable person, which was you. So all of those messages apply. Take what resonates for you. Oh, we have Enemy in Disguise. Okay. This person could have created an enemy in you, meaning you may look at this individual and now it's like, you know, they're your enemy. You know, there's a lot of bad blood between the two of you. So this person could regret that there's bad blood between the two of you now. But I'm also getting that this could be other people. There could have been other people that maybe they trusted, other people that they just shouldn't have trusted, that ended up burning them. And maybe this had some sort of an effect or consequence on your connection. So if there were other people involved, other people said some things, other people did some things that ended up hurting you, that's also something that your person regrets, is that they let people involved in your business or in your connection, okay? Or that you guys are now enemies. Fever. It says, hooked on your love like a drug. So, obviously, we're not running a fever all the time. A fever comes, and then the fever goes away. So I do feel like something that your person regrets is that they do feel from time to time still hooked on you. So they regret it because maybe they thought that they would just leave you behind and never think about you again, and it's not the case. So you do come and go in like little spells, okay? That you come and go, your energy. Sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's not as intense, but when it's hot, it's like fever. You give me fever. Fever, when you hold me tight, fever, it's that song. A lot of people sing that song. I don't even know who originally sings it, but that's a song that's coming through. Fever all through the night. I'm getting sleepless nights. Your person regrets a lot of things at night when they're in their bed all alone, tossing and turning. Okay, so we have the Two of Pentacles, fluctuation. So we actually got the Two of Pentacles earlier, and that was really talking about not being, kind of keep. Which one was this one? Hold on, I want to make sure that I'm properly. Okay, here we go. Balancing act. This right here is kind of like being, unsure. Like kind of fluctuating. They're not sure. So they have some sort of regret with kind of leaving you hanging, or juggling you, or making a decision that wasn't you. Being kind of like not 100%. So they do regret this. They regret not being more stable. They regret not making a decision at the time to be with you. And I feel like it's difficult for them because they didn't know that they were really going to still have leftover feelings for you. They thought perhaps that they were just going to be able to forget you and let you go. And I feel like that did not happen. Yeah, they regret that they said no to you. They regret that they said no to this connection, actually. Yeah. They also regret even getting involved with you, because it's like if they hadn't got involved with you, then they wouldn't have hurt you, then they wouldn't feel this pain. So it kind of, it's a mix. Mirror, I am you and you are me. Okie dokie. So this tells me here that they really regret saying no to this connection, because it was like looking in a mirror. Being with you was like what they actually wanted, but they said no to this. So they were rejecting some aspect of themselves. And so because they were rejecting themselves, in a way they were rejecting you. So they were rejecting their heart. So naturally, they're going to reject you. You were in their heart space. So if they're rejecting their heart, of course, they're going to reject you too. So they said no to you because they were trying to hold boundaries. They were trying to do the right thing. They were trying to, say no to everything so that way they could focus on themselves. And I just feel like they realized it was not, I'm not saying it wasn't the right thing to do for them, because maybe they did need to do some things. Maybe they had to work on themselves. Nothing wrong with that. But I feel like they regret, it says down the line, right? Oh, it says drawing the line, but I'm seeing down the line. Down the line, they didn't feel this way anymore. So they do have regret that they said no to you at the time, because things have changed and things have fluctuated since then. They're not in the same mindset now. That's what I'm seeing with that. They wish they could have mirrored back to you what you gave to them at that time. And they didn't. They said no to it. They closed themselves off to it. Yeah. It's with a heavy heart that I had to tell you no. They regret telling you no. They regret cutting you out. they regret hurting you. The Three of Swords is heartbreak. They regret breaking your heart, you guys. So that's a real indication that your person's pretty damn sorry for that. They definitely did not enjoy breaking your heart, that's for sure. And we have softening your heart. So they regret that your heart is now hardened towards them. It's now heavy when you think about them. It's kind of like they know that they hurt you, and they know that you have a lot of sadness in your heart towards them. And they want to soften your heart. They wish that your heart was softer towards them. I also feel like their heart was really heavy at the time too. It was really hardened. They were saying no to their heart space, but their heart has softened since then. So I do feel like this person has gone through some stuff and they have changed. Their heart isn't in the same place that it was back then, where it's at now. It's like they wish they could mirror back to you what you gave to them, and you gave to them your soft heart, and what they gave you was a hardened heart. Yep. Phantom, your presence still lingers here. So your presence is still with them like a phantom in the night, kind of haunting them. It's still around. Okay. So they really feel something at night. And we have the Four of Embers. This is the Four of Wands, bedrock. I feel like what this is saying to us is that this person really regrets saying no to you and not being ready for you, because you guys could have actually gone the distance. You guys could have actually had a pretty kick-ass connection, and they know it with that Four of Wands energy. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a couple more because I wanted to take this to 40 minutes. Let's see here. What else do we need to know about what your person's biggest regret is? Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, so living blissfully. When your person came together with you initially, I feel like that's the energy that they were in, this sweet, blissful energy. Yes, getting caught up in this just like sweetness of you. It was kind of like that, dream coming true, getting swept up in a dream, getting swept up in the magic. Right? They welcomed it at first. So they regret, I feel, not continuing on this vibration, not saying yes to this dream. Oh, what am I going into this deck for? Let me go into this deck. A siren. You're the one I need, and I also fear. So your person's biggest regret is that they feel like they actually want you and need you now, but see, they also fear you. And why do they fear you? Because they fucked you over. That's why. They hurt you. They did something to you. They did something here in the end that they have something to feel fearful for now. And they regret that because they may have been able to, if they had ended things nicely with you, or things, like ended amicably maybe between the two of you, or if there wasn't just like this tower moment shit, they could reach back at you and come back. But something happened here, and it's not so easy to come back now, and they regret that. They do. They regret it. I also feel like a siren could have led them astray. And they regret not saying no to that person. They regret not saying no to a temptation. So that could have been a cheating third-party situation energy. But we have Countess of Souls and this heartfelt message. This is the Page of Cups. So in their heart, it's almost like, you're the one. I always knew that you were my dream come true. I always knew that you were the one. But I pushed this away. I hardened my heart. It's with a heavy heart that I have to say no to this opportunity right now. I'm just not ready for it. It's just not matching up with what I had envisioned for my life at the time you came in. So they regret that they were not on the same page with you at that time that you came in, because I feel like now their heart's in the right space. So now perhaps they would say yes to this dream connection, but before they did not. So that is what we have, you guys. So over on in the extended, we are going to go into what do they wish they could tell you now more than anything? What do they see as being possible between the two of you currently? What are their private thoughts and fantasies about you, as well as what is their next move towards you? So if those messages sound interesting to you, go ahead and click on that link down below where you guys will find the link for the extended reading. And thank you guys so much for choosing to watch this reading today. You guys take care. Bye-bye.